A movie that you watch now can help you understand where your money is going in the future, which is helpful if you are having problems with your finances. Pay attention, because we are about to become extremely explicit about the amount of growth that the cryptocurrency market intends to experience. In addition, I can guarantee that the majority of you will find that it does not live up to your expectations. It is certainly true that some individuals believe that XRP will hit $10 while others believe that it will reach $100. It is anticipated that the cryptocurrency business as a whole would get trillions of dollars in fresh money, which is a significant amount more than the majority of people believe. In addition to this, Raoul Pal will discuss the extent to which he believes the cryptocurrency markets will expand the things that you ought to be aware of and the ways in which you can radically alter your financial future. Do you think that would be enjoyable? The movie can now be viewed after you have clicked the like button. Furthermore, I established a company based on this concept, which I refer to as exponential adjusted management, because I am of the opinion that hedge funds are the most effective method for achieving alpha in the market. About $2 trillion is the current value of the cryptocurrency markets. It is possible that they will be valued as much as $22 trillion in the following 100 trillion years, due to the fact that this is a significant increase we will not be able to cover it all by working on. Our ability to go further away from the risk curve for Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum is something that we need to be able to do. That takes a lot of effort. I'm sorry, but I'm not capable. With regard to this particular aspect, hedge funds are very successful. What they do is exactly this. According to appearances, they devote all of their time to searching for alpha and opportunities. It is a lot of fun for me to talk to hedge funds since they have a significant amount of money at stake. It is a combination of their own savings and the money that they have received from investors that they have. This indicates that it is their responsibility to search for the most favorable opportunities within the context of risk-adjusted value. As for me, I was a student in the blockchain class in 2013. One thing that struck me right away was that the behavioral economics aspect of it will change the game in terms of both the production of capital and the coming together of individuals to share their interests. In accordance with Metcalfe's rule, the value of each token increases as the number of users that join a network increases. The network's value increases as a result of this. The fact that helps you launch businesses in a very short amount of time. In my opinion, there is something that people still do not fully comprehend what it implies. As a matter of fact, we are currently witnessing various peculiar incentives, such as airdrops or methods to farm it. I am of the opinion that the initial coin offering ICO marked the beginning of something much more significant. I have also been thinking about these pieces that have a low flow, and the first thing that comes to mind is that the market is currently devaluing them. As a result, you are awarded an excellent opportunity to make a decision in crowded markets. Given that the amount is already known and the decision needs to be made already, there is no longer any room for that. You should know that it is difficult to deal with typical marketplaces when there is an unknown supply and an unknown demand. You are able to model anything if you are aware of the demand but not the supply, and the same is true in the opposite direction. My first thought is I know what the supply is going to be because we now have the unlocks. This is what I think when I look at these. The tickets have been reduced in price due to the fact that there are not the same number of them. What you are aware of is that if there is demand, there is a significant amount of uncertainty associated with a low float. In addition to this, it will be quite challenging for everyone to comprehend what the term low float even means in current bull market. They are all going to be incorrect. Furthermore, they will be mistaken because there will not be a great deal of float. Rather, there will be a great deal of demand since some of these projects are really fantastic. The risk returns will be extremely unequal as a result of this. This is something that no one seems to understand since they believe that future token unlocks will always indicate that the price will decrease. During a bear market, it is likely that they will have a greater decline than other assets. This, however, is something that I find to be rather fascinating when the market is rising and there is not a lot of float. As of current now, the space is worth $2 trillion. The sum that I believe it will reach is $100 trillion. For the purpose of determining this, either the market capitalization of Bitcoin or the log regression channel of its price was utilized. There are a few different approaches of reducing it. It is possible that I am 50% off. It is expected to reach 50 trillion by the year 2032 or 2034. So the task at hand is to proceed down that path. It is not because there are certain individuals who do not comprehend the fact that the world will not be $50 trillion. 10 trillion Bitcoins might be worth it in the long run. The worth of 40 or 90 trillion dollars will be created in another location. It is possible for hedge funds to accomplish that. Given that it is a challenging job, to determine where the significant value gain is, you need to have a high level of concentration. In the same way that you did with Solana, which is a typical situation, you become aware of something very early on. And that has resulted in a significant increase in value, and it is not yet over. In light of this, I believe that the most significant opportunity is for individuals to stop worrying so much about cycles and instead focus on how they can catch that trend. It is my opinion that this is the most rapid and significant accumulation of wealth in the entire history of humanity. Specifically, what Raoul Pal is stating contains a great deal of valuable lessons to be learned. The first and, in my opinion, most important thing is to gain knowledge from people who have been in your position and who have experienced what you are looking for. In this particular instance, the hedge funds have what we might all desire. That is exactly what hedge funds do. They take money from investors and use it to make as much money as they can. We want to make a lot of money, and that is exactly what hedge funds do. In my opinion, the next step that is essential for all of us to take is to obtain this information from these hedge funds and investigate the actions that they are taking. Individuals who are most likely attempting to make as much money as they possibly can here. In spite of this, I believe that the cryptocurrency market is currently seeing a number of remarkable opportunities, particularly with regard to Bitcoin. At the moment, both the weekly cross and the daily cross of the stochastic RSI show that Bitcoin is in a very strong position. At this very moment, the ideal time to purchase Bitcoin is right now. This is the reason why. Because it is extremely rare to acquire both the weekly and daily crosses at the same time, I have just begun a long position in Bitcoin that is 10 times longer than the current price. And from my point of view, after the current collapse, I think it's very probable that Bitcoin will take off very soon and we'll see it test its prior all-time highs, possibly around the $60,000 mark. So I believe. For me, I'm going to open a 10x long trade. You'll get amazing bargains if you utilize my link to build a 5x long position on March X, and I'll get additional Bitcoin merely for trading through my link. It goes without saying that they provide you guys with bonuses for futures and other wonderful products. When all of that is taken into consideration, Raoul Pal does have some additional extremely significant things to say in this film. Getting back to it, shall we? It made me feel quite excited. My first experience with Bitcoin was in 2013 when I purchased a handful of them for the sole purpose of experimenting with them. If only I had purchased more. A great number of individuals are wishing that they had purchased more of it back then. Bitcoin, on the other hand, was definitely not for me at the time, since it was all about hard money and Austrian economics, both of which are concepts that I am familiar with and admire, but they do not really align with who I am. Seeing Ethereum for the first time in 2016 was the thing that truly got me enthused. Using Ethereum, I was able to see how blockchain technology may be utilized to facilitate collaboration among individuals in order to enable people to create things and accomplish things that they otherwise would not have been able to do. In its most fundamental form, cryptocurrencies and blockchains are intended to be utilized as a tool for coordination with the goal of assisting individuals in working together and aligning their incentives in order to produce goods that are beneficial to businesses. What we are always looking for are protocols that will enable them to accomplish something that would not have been possible in any other circumstance. DeFi demonstrates this in a manner that is rather interesting. DePIN is yet another incredibly cool approach that accomplishes the same thing. Things that are useful in the real world are being made through these processes. A blockchain is another useful item for real life that would not be possible without the record that keeps track of money and coordinates everything. Stablecoins are another example of real-world applications of blockchain technology. At the very least, that was the primary focus of our argument from the very beginning. Following that, we searched for several interpretations of that theory, wherein, straight away, we could put it to use. In light of the fact that the entry price is obviously of utmost significance, we later compiled a list of considerations for investments that were to follow. Doesn't it seem obvious that the manner in which value is captured is of utmost significance? Our actions give the impression that we are venture capitalists rather than venture philanthropists. In other words, we are looking for opportunities that will allow us and our customers to generate financial gain.